Aquarius, hi guys, welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I just noticed as I hit record, it's 11:11 on the clock. It might not be that when you're watching it. If it is, isn't that kind of cool? So, what we're going to do, Aquarius, we are going into totally wild unknown territory this week. So I'm just working with my wild unknown decks. And I'm going to start with the archetype deck. So what I'm going to ask, so this is how we're going to read the energy this week. I'm going to ask, what is the archetype energy that you are in right now? And what is the archetype energy that you are moving towards? And then I'm going to pull out Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck cards for the archetype energy. And then I'm going to pull out Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Tarot cards to give us more information. And so the blind spot this week, if you're called to go to the, if you feel compelled to go to the extended, which there is, the link is at the top of the description. I'm going to look at the blind spot, like the missing information between energy you're in now, archetype energy you're in now, and archetype energy that you're going to be in. So that's what that will look at. So let's see what's going on with you, Aquarius. My aqua babies. Sorry, I don't have much to say. I feel kind of funny. I did with that full moon a few nights ago. I did like just this cleansing thing, like with the moon, and then I opened the curtains and I let the moonlight shine on me all night while I slept. And it's just almost like empty. It's like I've run out of, it's like I feel like I'm just a chalice for the universe now. So let's see what comes out, shall we, Aquarius? Oh gosh, that's funny, because this is the card that I kept seeing as I was picking up the deck. Okay, so the archetypal energy that you are at right now is a threshold. Now, I'm going to read the books because it's really deep information about these cards. You can see though that it's almost, doesn't it look like, I mean it's human feet, but it's kind of like standing in a bird nest getting ready to take flight, right? And look at, I love all the colors here coming out of some sort of darkness or monochromatic energy into something very warm and bright. Wow, and yeah, the eternal child is the energy that you're going towards, that you're going, when I say what you're coming, it's what you, I'm trying not to read anyone else this week. Sorry, cross watchers, but if you want to know what's going on with your Aquarian. So you are going from the threshold to the eternal child. Kind of interesting before even reading the book, right? Because what comes out of the nest but the child, the baby? You're getting ready to leap out of the nest, but still in a way hanging on to that internal, deeper part of you. So let's read the book. So, you have the threshold is where you are right now. Oh, this is going to take me forever. I should have studied the Roman numerals. I'm pretty much good up to 12. Good disaster. Oh, there's XO. Okay. Extra large. Maybe you're getting into like extra large 5, baby. Extra large. Yeah, see? The threshold. Here, I'll hold the card up so you can like look at it. The door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one, however. You have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step forward, the future that calls you. So when in light, and I'm focusing on the light because this is to me, this is what you're going towards. This is what you're in now. So you're kind of embracing this. You're about to embrace this. You're at a threshold. And when it talks about, you know, leaving behind a part of yourself, of course, that's what happens to any bird that's leaving a nest. Where was I? I don't know. I was somewhere and they had this nature program on, or maybe it was here at my own home. And there was this great big falcon in the Amazon. Maybe it was even an eagle. And it was old enough to start wandering across the branches, but it was like hundreds and hundreds of feet up in the canopy. And it had to get used to kind of jumping up and down on the branch and keeping its balance, and then it got rained on. You know, it was getting out of the nest. So it's leaving behind what it knew in the nest. So it's not really something bad. Growth, ease, and individualization, which I think is like that's what happens when you come out of the nest, right? Because if there's others in the nest with you, you're all spreading, going beyond what you've known each other to be. Crossing a threshold may not always be voluntary. Sometimes we are thrown across the boundary through circumstances far beyond our control. Either way, we cannot go back. You can't really go back into the nest. In Hindu mythology, Ganesh is the ultimate gatekeeper. Look to the great elephant god for support. Hecate, Janus, and Mention are also watching over you. Well, that's interesting. I would have to look those other ones up. I'm not familiar with them. I am with Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, right? So to go deeper into this energy, lie on the floor and listen to Bob Dylan Standing in the Doorway. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. So you're going somewhere. You're about to go somewhere. Well, you know you are, but I think that's what this is like. It's taking you here to the eternal child. So let's see what that's all about, because that's where you're going here, guys. The eternal child. The inner child, the child of joy. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return, with plenty of friends, to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. When light, joyful, playful, accepts all, and magic. This is exciting. So, celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, as is the phrase, live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. Well, that's interesting. I wonder why 27? This archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for life isn't satiated, it seeks spirits and substance elsewhere. The eternal child struggles with addictions of all varieties. I guess, yeah, like if you're not allowing this to come out. So that's probably the one thing to caution. I mean, really, if you allow this to birth naturally and fully, there is a desire to leave behind some of the physical limitations associated with the aging body and the logistics of our world. So, you know, allow yourself that space. You're going into it. You're coming out of a nest to go into pretty good energy. Okay, so I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to try to get one card from the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck to go. It's going to tell us a little more energetically. This is really like, the archetype is so fascinating, and it's not necessarily energetic. So these other cards are going to be a little more energetic. And so where you are right now, you're at a threshold, and you're going towards some really fun, sort of invigorating energy. It's colorful. I can't stop, sorry. Get to the reading. Right? You're in this, almost like this monochromatic. And look at this, jumping into warmth, light, color, and look at how it expands even to the whole rainbow of color. Okay, so now, Wow. You're being guided. You are being guided on this. You have guidance, right? When that eaglet, I guess you would call it. I don't know what you call it. The ones that's ready to get out of the nest. Is it full-on eagle? Kind of being guided, being protected. You have the firefly. So you look at the colors too, like you were about to jump into sort of something for the first time. It feels like something for the first time. And the firefly, you're ready to do this. This is to allow you to grow and expand beyond where you've been before in life. And the firefly is all surrounded by darkness, right? And it's kind of learning to slowly light up whatever this new energy, this new unknown could be. And as you do, you're coming out of the darkness. So it's something you're going to feel sort of young and new. Because I see the firefly as a step getting towards the hummingbird, which is constantly lit up. It keeps the darkness away fully, so it really understands whatever unknown that it's kind of stepped into and how to govern itself in that energy. So the eternal child, and then you have the tiger. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, that's being on top of your game. Really seeing things that you want to go for and going after it. And that's interesting. I'm really seeing in the middle here with the eternal child, it looks like the sun. Like it literally looks like a photograph of the sun in space. And interesting that we have the tiger, which is, you know, it's that fire energy. I want to call it like lion, like Leo energy. Really being full on ready, like you're going in. It's not like if you jump off the branch, you're this little eaglet ready to fly off. You're really going to soar. Really going to soar when you do this. You're going to see things. There's going to be things that you see once you walk over this threshold and hit this eternal child energy that you really want. You're going to have your eyes and your intentions set on specific things going into this new energy. All right, so the tarot is going to tell us even more. So this is a very energetic reading. That's what I wanted to do this week. I wanted to really do a very energetic reading for everybody. And I really want to focus on your energy. Oh, wow. The moon. The moon is at the bottom. Interesting that the sun is at the underneath. The sun's reversed. I'm only reading as far as the moon. But the moon, so literally, is going into the unknown. Going into the unknown. And it is completely unknown. If you've been in this nest, you have no idea. The eaglet has no idea what's beyond the nest. It just knows it needs to go. It needs to move towards it. It needs to grow and expand. It needs to get out of this monochromatic energy. And do we remember the eternal child? One of these guys, I think it was the eternal child, was talking about like leaving something of yourself behind. Almost like a death, a bit of a death card. And the first card that has come out here is the Ten of Swords, the King or Father of Swords, and then the Nine of Pentacles. I think I said, once you leave, you're going to soar like you've been doing it all your life, even though it's the first time coming off this branch. Because going from the Ten of Swords to the Father of Swords is just that. It's just literally you're staying in your energy. Something about you is ending here as you walk through this threshold. Something about you is ending, but you're maintaining your energy, that sword energy, Aquarius, and you're maintaining it at the highest level as the Father of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. I kind of feel like with the Nine of Pentacles that you've done as much as you can in this energy. Because this energy, and I'm going to explain it in a minute, there's something very interesting over here. I'm trying to keep it just your energy, but I don't know. There's something else coming in. So the Nine of Pentacles is really a self-sufficient, self-reliant energy, really looking after yourself really well. it's almost like selfishness when selfishness needs to come into play, because you need to do things for you to allow yourself to grow, to heal, to expand, whatever it is you need to do in this life, right? Like that is also an important element in our lifetimes. In our lifetimes, at least in this one right now. Jeez, look at that too. There's really something like coming out of some very monochromatic energy, right? All these swords are dark. This whole picture is dark. But look at this sword, it's just lit up with color. There's a rainbow of color again. Kind of like seeing your life the way it should be, or bringing yourself to the threshold of what you're meant to do. Because the eaglet is not meant to stay in the nest. It's just for like, I don't know how long it takes them to develop, maybe a month and a half, 2, I have no idea. I'm guessing there. But, you know, but that's all they've known. So even though going forward into what they're really meant to be is kind of scary, because they've never done that before. They're not it yet. They're not that soaring eagle. And really it feels like this is what's going to happen, because this is a bull. This is a bull. It's very grounded. It's not soaring. It's not. It's on the ground. It's very grounded. It's slower movement. We could look at it because the bull could be like Taurus energy. There could be a lot of planning going on. Maybe you've been planning, you've been strategizing, you've been applying those strategies to your life. But now you're literally ready, like standing on a branch, ready to soar and fly. Okay. So these are very interesting cards that came out with the Eternal Child and the Tiger. The Empress, the Three of Wands, and the Emperor. Well, the Emperor and the Empress are like a divine counterpart energy. And with the Three of Wands between them, it's creating something of growth and expansion. And it's a little bit like two energies with the Three of Wands, two energies expecting something to happen. And here it is. It sits between you. It's just between you. I'm going to say someone else. I was trying to keep it just your energy. But you're going into something new here. But it's, gosh, it's going to be very, it should be very playful. It's going to light up a fire in you with the Tiger. Like the Tiger is predatory. It's a top predator too. It is like a top predator. I just saw, I was watching a video, and they were talking about looking at the back of a tiger. There's the white dots on the back of the ear, and then the stripes on the back of the head kind of look a bit like a face. And they were saying that that's what the tiger has to scare away predators so they don't come up to them from behind. Well, what the hell is a predator to the tiger, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting, but yeah, anyways, there is, like, really, I can't think of a predator to a tiger except mankind. Except mankind. So it is, even though you have the Eternal Child energy, you come out the top predator. You come out the top predator off of this branch. You soar right away as the Father of Swords. And the Great Horned Owl, is that not one of the biggest owls, if not the biggest owl? And the Emperor and the Empress, it's really, it's kind of like, how did I hear it described once? Like the Emperor and the Empress is, it's like a power couple. It's like two people that come together that have an awful lot, and when both of them come together, like, look at, this is what it creates. So whether it's romantic, whether it's a business opportunity, whether it's a friendship, like there's something here that you are moving towards that is going to create a lot of growth and expansion. And it's really balanced because the tiger, I want to kind of qualify it as adult, really mature adult energy. And you would get that from the Emperor and the Empress as well. But yet the Eternal Child is here that kind of keeps it, it keeps it real. That's what that is. It really keeps it real. Because when we get too much into being adults and adulting all the time, oh, well, a lot of times too, like we can see ourselves in a way that the world has built us up to be, but we kind of forget who we really are. So that's kind of like that comes through with the Emperor and the Empress. It's interesting too, the different color dynamics that play out in both these cards. It's a little bit like someone brings like moon energy and somebody brings sun energy. Because the Empress has the crescent moon, and in the Emperor you can't have this eclipse without the sun and the moon. And of course the earth. All of the shadow that happens in that. And eclipses are like big changes. So I know you're the first one, so I feel like I should just end with like an oracle card. You guys are so patient. You're so sweet. What do we get this week? What do we get this week? Oh yeah, we're gonna use this. I love this deck. This is a nice deck. It's kind of hard to shuffle, but you know what? This is a week of hard to shuffle with the archetype deck. It's hard to shuffle. So we're gonna end with a final message to you. These have really nice affirmations and messages on them. And like I said, I will go do the extended reading, and I'm going to look at the energy between these 2 points in time for you. Oh, you got the dragon. Leadership, integrity, and power. The affirmation for this card is, I own my power with dignity and grace. Oh, isn't that great? I'm going to show you that in a minute, right? That's kind of what this one was trying really sort of to describe here. Like a very powerful energy, but, you know, dignity and grace. And playfulness. I mean, kid, come on, there's a kid on a dragon. Of course it's playful. All right, there's a whole, on the back, I'm going to read to you what is on the back. There's a whole little section. It is safe for you to be powerful. You can be powerful and kind, good, humble, and gracious. True power achieves greatness and flows from the heart of the universe, not from human ego. Surrender any attachment to being admired, and you shall attract an abundance of recognition and respect. You have abilities that are beyond the ordinary. You shall be guided on how to best express them to fulfill your destiny and assist all beings. Remember, you can only give according to what you can receive. Take time to balance and vitalize your eternal energies. Wow, that's really interesting, guys. That kind of hints a little bit about towards what's happening here, no? Some sort of really wonderful growth and expansion that you're about to come into. I think the key here is to maintain this humble and this graceful approach to whatever comes towards you, because it could be something pretty good. The Emperor and the Empress are the embodiment of all the kings and queens in the tarot, so it's really making it to a point, like great success. All right, that's it, Aquarius. Thank you so much. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.